All right, guys, welcome back to the second episode of Just Talking Around. Today I'm joined by my good friend, Patrick Coughlin.
What's good, guys?
Me and Patrick have known each other for a few years now, and we ran cross country together for 3 years. He's only one grade below me, so we've been good friends. And that's my dog, Woody, barking in the background. I don't know if you can hear him.
My dog might end up making an appearance if he barks at the door or whatever. We'll see.
And so Pat and I were both really into sports, and this should be a good one.
Yeah, we shouldn't have too much trouble with this one.
Yep. But actually, to start off, I was just about to tell Patrick, and I was like, I'll just save it for when we start recording. I recently just found out. I mean, I kind of knew about it, but I'm seeing it in full effect right now. There's this side of Twitter called the Swifties, and they are Taylor Swift fanatics.
Oh yeah. Have you been seeing this today a lot?
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of that today.
And they're super toxic.
On Instagram too.
Oh, really? On Twitter, I've been seeing especially. What have you been seeing?
I've been seeing stuff like Taylor Swift is the dominant force, and I was something like
they push an agenda, and they do it until
it was literally a picture of a woman towering over a man, and Taylor Swift's face was photoshopped over it, and it was some other celebrity. I think it was Harry Styles or something like that. The celebrity was photoshopped. I'm like, what is going on?
There's this section of Twitter and social media that I think people call it stan Twitter, and they just stan this one person, through thick and thin.
How did stan become a thing?
Have you ever listened to the Eminem song Stan? No. So there's an Eminem song.
I'm very anti-Eminem.
Eminem was the first artist that got me into hip hop, but Kanye was the first artist that made me love hip hop. I mean, so, Eminem was my gateway, because when I first heard Lose Yourself and Till I Collapse, when I was around 9 or 10 or something, or maybe a little bit younger, I was like, oh, this music is so good. I just thought it was so cool because it was so fast.
The first rap song that I ever heard was Drop the World by Lil Wayne and Eminem. And if you've ever heard that song before,
I don't know if I've heard that song. I got to listen to it.
Picture 9-year-old me hearing that song. You never heard that song before? Have you ever heard that song before? Oh, no. God. Just picture a 9-year-old white kid, and when you listen to the song, and you'll just be like, this makes no sense.
I just remember listening to Palms Are Sweaty, Knees Weak. Whatever the line is. I
don't remember hearing that song for the first time, to be honest with you.
Vomit on a sweater already. Mom spaghetti. I just thought that was so funny.
But I mean, I guess Eminem's last two albums, or even before that, definitely the last two, because those are the two I've actually really listened to, have not been good.
So, getting back to the Taylor Swift stands, right? So today I woke up and the number one trending on Twitter was hashtag Kanye West is over party. I was like, oh, what did he do this time? Because obviously I'm a huge fan of him, and a lot of people know that. And so I was like, oh, what happened this time? And it was basically some old news, some old video from 2015 or so of when he was asking Taylor Swift for permission to use her name, and basically asking for permission for him to use the line in the song "Famous."
I was about to say it was famous. Definitely.
And apparently she agreed to it, and they have video footage of her saying yeah, this is okay, and
it's a funny line.
Yeah, and so I guess they found a piece of the video and cropped it in a way that made it look like she wasn't completely comfortable with it, but in the extended version, there's a piece of it where she's oh yeah, I mean, you just speak your truth, whatever you want to say, just say it. I mean, honestly, it's a hip hop song, I'm not going to tell you what to put
so
in
basically
song.
They're just digging up old crap on
right. Yeah, they're just looking for a reason to hate people.
I was actually talking about that last night with my sister.
The internet just cut a second. Hopefully it didn't pick up like that.
Oh boy. I won't say what the tweet said, but basically she said something, and one of her old friends texted her saying like, "Hey, you should probably delete this."
So,
and she was like, "Oh yeah, you're probably right." But like when you're like Twitter has like changed a lot from like even like the past like 4 or 5 years. Like I remember when I first got Twitter, people tweeted a lot more.
mm-hmm.
Like you just kind of said what you were thinking. And
that's
like
kind of how I like to treat it. I probably tweet like 10 times a day.
Yeah, you're one of like the people like that never really changed. Which like I mean, like
I noticed now people are starting to treat their Twitter like they treat their Instagram.
Yes.
And I remember
yes, that's a good way of putting it.
And in 2013, like when Instagram first started to come out, and like I just remember they would post everything. They would post.
I posted everything. My sister would
people would post like 5 times a day. It would be like a meme, their dinner, their lunch.
My sister blocked me on Instagram because I posted too much.
They'd post like a picture of their dog like every day. Like it was just like everyone would post whatever.
Your Ask FM name.
Yeah.
Or like take this quiz.
Yeah. Or like if this reaches 10 likes, I'll make a video of myself doing this. And like now jumping no one does those things.
No. It's
like everyone's like
it's
their own
ego.
Social media manager for their own celebrity that is their self that they're just trying to like look perfect for.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why I like Twitter more than Instagram. I barely use Instagram. I don't know about you. I barely use Instagram.
Barely go on anymore.
Twitter is like that's probably my most. I'm gonna check actually how much I was on Twitter today because it's like probably,
Twitter and YouTube for me.
It's probably pretty sad how much I'm actually on Twitter.
So
I was on Twitter for 4 hours today.
So I go on to this morning and I see this hashtag Kanye West is over party, and it's over the stupid thing. I'm scrolling through. I just see a ton of tweets from these Taylor Swift fans, and then like I follow there's like a group of like Kanye fans that like all kind of like follow each other. So I'm in that, and I'm just seeing like, oh, like this is like they're taking this so seriously, and we're like laughing at it because we're like, all right, like what's the point of this? Like that's so,
like the 20th worst thing Kanye's done.
So we're like, honestly, like we're just in it for the music. The music is good. I mean,
exactly.
It's like. And then we're just seeing all this. So I'm like, I think we should all stream famous. I tweet that. hashtag stream famous. And I get these tweets coming back to me from Taylor Swift fans.
Oh, the Swifties came at you hard, huh?
The Hive. If they were Beyonce fans, it'd be the Beehive. But the Swifties were coming at me hard.
Oh, no.
And
how many replies did you get?
I got a few now.
Boy.
I said, I think we should get hashtag stream famous trending. I said it as a joke. Obviously, I can't start a movement like that. A few hours later, I get a response back. Someone quoted.
Do you know these people?
Oh no. They had to search me and find me to get this. There's like they would have had to like looking for something to hate because I don't follow these people at all.
So we don't care about these people.
No, but I just think it's funny how this like they all kind of come out of nowhere and just start attacking. How did that work out for you, Tucker? That was what they said. And I said, I stream to famous. And then this person said, whose name on Twitter is Taylor. Probably not Taylor Swift, though, unless it's a fake account.
Maybe it's a burner account.
It's a burner. I think he's mad because his parents named him after a golden retriever. So I said, and I do know that Tucker is a very common dog name.
I'd be okay with being named after a golden retriever.
Yeah.
That's not even an insult.
So I just said, my parents are golden retrievers. So I just responded with that. And then
curveball.
Someone else said, and because his parents are cousins.
Ooh. Hey, this isn't Alabama now. Come on.
Yeah, come on. We live in Massachusetts. We don't do that up here.
No, never.
So then I started seeing these. So I just said, imagine being a Taylor Swift fan. And I just put like this, like laughing gif.
Oh, yeah.
And then they said, I would rather be a Taylor Swift fan than be Tucker Dash. 23 likes, 1 retweet on that one.
Oh,
then it says...
Oh, you really made them mad. Wow.
Then it says... But his podcast account has a grand total of 6, capitalized, in parentheses, the number 6 followers. So what do you mean? So
you made it 2 days ago.
I made it 2 days ago.
Had you even released an episode? Actually,
it was this was
just
legit.
Released the first episode.
This tweet was 30 minutes ago. So
yeah, exactly. You just released the first
I had released
episode.
1 episode and made this account 2 days ago.
No, if you don't have 30,000 followers before your first episode, you're a failure.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know why I even bother showing myself in public.
Indisputable
anymore.
fact. This podcast is over.
Sorry guys, this is the last episode.
I'd like to hear a
Taylor Swift fans canceled me.
I would like to hear a Taylor Swift fan podcast because that would just be mayhem. It would also be 6 people with the same opinion.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
So I said, so they said, but his podcast account has a grand total of 6 followers. So I said, yeah, and one of them is me. And then they just put like this video of like 2 people just staring at each other in silence.
Wow, they definitely all are like high-fiving each other like, we got him, guys.
They're on the group chat. Yo, I'm going to say this. Should I say this?
We showed him. Yeah.
He's crying. And then the next one says, Tucker douche. Because on Twitter, my name is just Tucker Dash.
Ooh, oh boy.
And then
that was clever.
The comment under that one is, he didn't get loved as a child, and now he's on Twitter kissing Kanye's ass, even though Kanye could give less of a shit about him. Like, I'm sure Taylor Swift and her are besties, you know?
I'm sure Taylor Swift and her have coffee every Sunday at Starbucks. I'm sure they're best friends.
They hang out all the time. Then someone else said, oh yeah, imagine being Tucker douche. So then I just said like, oh, how'd you find out my real name? And so, yeah, I just think it's funny how there's a whole like community of people that, especially with, I see it with like K-pop Twitter too. Well, they'll just like, this Stan Twitter is like,
I've never really seen K-pop Twitter, to be honest with you. I'm not really familiar with how that one works.
Yeah, that one's
first of all, let's just get this right. There's nothing wrong with liking Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I mean,
you can like Taylor Swift and not be them.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's not against Taylor Swift fans. It's against
a very small group of people.
Yeah,
yes, the cult of people who are like, you know what? This guy said something I don't like on the internet, so I'm gonna be very angry at him and tweet at him things that aren't nasty.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna think I won.
And it's the same thing with like every single genre of everything. Like in politics too. Like you'll see the people
political
that like,
Twitter is actually no, not even political Twitter. Political Facebook is just the all-time the best, especially
the boomer memes.
When you get your family on Facebook and they're in political argument, there is nothing better in this world. There is nothing better than watching your family fall apart over politics on Twitter, because it makes Thanksgiving, Easter, and Christmas look way more fun.
And
like
am I lagging? You're kind of lagging for me.
No, you're good for me.
All right. Yeah, because there's always like, I understand like if you don't agree with a certain politician or president or whoever, that's fine. But it's the people that I like. Sometimes I'll just like look through, and it's the same faces that always have a hate comment. It's almost like they have the post notifications on, and they're a tweet ready to be made about it. And it's like, if you really, really didn't like them, like, well, why are you paying that much attention? Like, it's for everything too, like not just politics.
One thing I've noticed is that, especially with like big time like Trump supporters, like, I'm not trashing people who like Donald Trump. I'm not going to trash people like Bernie. You know,
yeah, we're not going to
whatever your opinion
turn
is,
away 50% of our viewership by picking political sides right here.
But like, whenever I see someone who's like, whenever I see Trump tweet, there's always like a bunch of people tweeting like, "Thank you, Mr. President," like MAGA.
Yeah.
Stuff
I see
like
those
that
too.
And then like, if you click on their profiles, it looks like a parody of a Trump supporter. It looks like
it's a bot.
Yes,
someone made
it looks like someone is trying to look like a crazy Trump supporter. Like their bio is like proud American, like love the stars and stripes. Their like header or whatever is like a picture of the Constitution. Their profile picture is them with like a bald eagle or whatever. Like it looks like a cartoon.
There's so many accounts that are like that.
And then there's also the accounts that have 2 followers that are tweeting this out. And there's like, it says the number of tweets is like 2,000, and they're all replies to like this like Trump tweets or political tweets.
Yeah.
I don't get why.
Twitter's weird. It's like how many of them are actually real?
Yeah, I don't get why like so many bots are commenting on. I don't know why they have a political opinion, but
yeah,
it's kind of scary. Not gonna lie.
If depending on which party you're on, you'll blame Russia or you'll blame whoever.
Yeah, basically.
They always say stuff like that.
Never yourself, though. It's never your fault. That's the one thing I've learned from Twitter politics. It is never your fault. Always somebody to blame.
All right. Tom Brady is a Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
I mean, honestly, I think I've already come to terms with the fact that Jarrett Stidham is going to be the greatest quarterback of all time.
At first I was like, oh, are we going to go after Cam Newton or Jameis Winston? Like, who are the Patriots going to go after?
Yeah.
And now I don't want Andy Dalton. I don't want Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers is a Colt now, I think.
Well, he's already signed. Can we just, first of all, before we go, I want to like move away from Tom Brady for just a second.
Okay.
Is Cam Newton asking to be traded or not?
So so they have new ownership, and they have a new GM and a new head coach. And a lot of people were mad that they fired the head coach last season.
Yeah, Ron Rivera. He got a job like 2 days after getting fired.
Yeah. Everyone loved him.
Yeah, he's a great coach
in that organization. And basically, I think what happened is they have a whole new front office, and they were just kind of like they pulled a Captain Phillips and like, I'm the captain now, and they were just like, yeah, we're getting rid of everyone.
Well, I saw it was like Cam Newton requested for a trade. And then he commented in the ridiculous fonts because that's how he types for some reason. I thought it was like a parody account at first, and then I'm like, oh no, that's actually
no, he types like
that's
that.
That's actually how he types. I was like, wow.
He takes the effort of holding down every letter and picking the one with the lines through it.
I don't have time for that. That's ridiculous. But he said he didn't ask for a trade. So did the Panthers ownership come out and lie and say they wanted him gone so badly that they just said, "Oh yeah, he wanted to be traded."
Oh,
which I think is bad because
I think they do that.
Value.
I think a lot of teams do that.
I don't get that. Like,
I think we might see something come out. Actually, no. Tom Brady. I think Robert Kraft said, if Brady wanted to be a Patriot, we would have done everything we wanted to do to make him become a Patriot."
Yeah, I'm honestly kind of excited though because
this is something that's new for us.
No,
my whole lifetime, Tom Brady has been the quarterback and has been the best quarterback in the league.
The first Patriots game I was alive for, I was born September 10th, 2001. So the first Patriots game I was alive for was the game that Drew Bledsoe got hurt in.
Oh, wow.
So Tom Brady played in the first Patriots game I was ever alive for. So I actually saw there was a thing on ESPN. It was like number of starting QBs since Brady came into the league. And I think the Patriots had Brady, Castle, Garoppolo, Brissett, and I think that's it.
Yeah.
And 4, right? That was not the least, though. The Chargers only had 3 since Brady came in the league, which I don't think they get enough credit for how consistent they were, and they just never won a Super Bowl.
The Chargers are, like, always in the playoff hunt because
like
Phillip Rivers is pretty good.
He's a solid quarterback. I mean, he's on the downswing of his career now, but they were, like – especially
for fantasy, he always puts up numbers.
Yeah, from like 05 to 07, the Chargers were the second best team in the AFC. I mean, they just always had the Patriots or one year.
Tom Brady has taken away the opportunity for Super Bowls from so many good quarterbacks. Like in a different universe, Peyton Manning has Tom Brady's Super Bowl.
Peyton Manning has 7. Yeah. Peyton Manning would be the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah, if Tom Brady didn't play.
But like the thing about Boston like rebuilds is the Bruins have had to rebuild a little bit. The Celtics went through a bit of a rebuild. The Red Sox, I have no idea what happens with them. They like suck for a few years and then win a championship and then go into hibernation.
Hey, we have a new manager this year for the Red Sox, so
that
we're
might
going to
win
win
a
the World Series.
That has been the formula so far.
That's been the formula, except unless your name is Bobby Valentine.
I was about to say Bobby Valentine.
My favorite Bobby Valentine story that I've heard is when Kevin Youkilis was on the team and he pulls his groin And
I've heard this one.
He goes, he's doing an interview, and they're like, "Oh, so what's the conversation been with Euclid lately since he pulled his groin?" And he said, "Well, I went up to him and I said, 'Hey, how's your groin?'" And so on like talk radio, they just had that soundbite, "Hey, how's your groin?" And Valentine's voice.
I remember
they just played it for like years.
One of my favorite John Farrell sound bites is since he was so bad at managing like the bullpen and whatever, one of his favorite lines was like, I made the decision and it didn't work out. And Boston sports, Boston radio, very logical, especially the sports radio, very logical, very nice people. And then one of the bites they did was, "John, how did your marriage go?" "Didn't work out." Like, that's ruthless. But back to what I was saying about the rebuilds. Yep. Boston has the fastest rebuilds in the world.
Yeah,
the Celtics rebuild took one trade. Trading for Isaiah Thomas, and they made the playoffs that year. Like, did they miss the playoffs one year?
No, because that trade, it took that trade for Isaiah Thomas, and it also took that Nets trade that everyone was like, "Oh, they're gonna tank now."
But that was one of the greatest trades that you've ever seen in the history of basketball.
What? Danny Ainge is literally like a genius.
Danny Ainge might get in the Hall of Fame for that trade alone.
We got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown out of that.
It hasn't led to a championship yet. It's not like the KG and Ray Allen trades.
Because that was immediate. Like, as soon as you pull those players in, that was like that was the antithesis of that trade. That was the total opposite. Yeah. Like, one of them was trading away all your assets for the stars, and that one was getting rid of the same exact stars for all these assets, and then just like I think everyone agrees that Boston has like probably, I would say, the best young core, but some people would say maybe they'll pick.
They have one of the best, definitely.
Yeah, one of the best young cores.
But the Bruins rebuild too. That was the quickest. They had to fire their coach, and that was it. Like, their core was around. They won the cup, and then they lost the cup 2 years later, and then they had another good year the next year. They were like the best team in the league, and they lost in the playoffs.
So they won in 2011.
Lost the cup in 2013.
Okay, yeah.
Were the best regular season team in 2014. And then they missed the playoffs the next 2 years because their core was. I mean, maybe not their core because Bergeron, Krejci, and Rass are still there, but like a lot of like their depth players were terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So all they did was get rid of them, fire their coach, and I remember the Bruins fired Claude Julien the day of the Patriots Super Bowl parade, and that was like the big story of how like awful the Bruins organization was run. Because the Bruins, I hated.
I remember. I'm not even huge into hockey, but I just remember everyone saying like, "Oh, the Bruins are like a dumpster fire now." And then after that, they just started winning all the time.
Don Sweeney had 3 first-round picks in a row, 1 draft. That was 4 years ago. One of them is in the NHL, and he's a second-line player.
How about I remember
the player drafted right after him won Rookie of the Year. The player drafted after him is one of the best defensemen in the league.
How about the Tyler Seguin trade?
I mean, looking back on it, it really, I get why they did it. It wasn't a great trade for us.
Was it one of those like, oh, we have a
cap dump?
Oh, it was a cap dump. Okay.
It was a cap dump, and I don't know if you remember, but Seguin
similar to what we just did with Mookie Betts.
Pretty much. I don't know if you remember, but Tyler Seguin was like the ultimate like partier. Like he was big off the ice. Him and Marchand. Marchand has cleaned up a lot since off the ice. So I think they kind of wanted to trade him out. Obviously, the trade was terrible for what they got back for him.
Mm-hmm.
They traded for a guy who was like a 30-goal scorer with the Bruins, and then they traded him away, and now he's one of the – I think he plays for the Golden Knights now. He's one of their top 6 forwards. But, I mean, it helped the Stars a lot. The good news is that we don't really need Seguin. We can't pay him anyways. Hockey's salary cap is so different from every other sport. Like in the NBA, who's the highest paid player in the NBA?
I want to say Steph Curry.
Steph Curry. How much does he make a year? Like $30 million?
Let me check.
I think the highest paid player in the NHL I want to say is Connor McDavid. I could be wrong on that one. It might be somebody else. And he makes about $12 million. I'm going to look that up too.
The list I found is in reverse order, so I got to scroll all the way down.
The least paid players in the league.
Steph Curry, $40.2 million per year. He's got the supermax.
That's ridiculous.
That's insane.
I'm looking at the highest paid. Yeah, Connor McDavid is the highest paid player in the NHL. His salary is $15 million a year. So
is it just because the sport doesn't bring as much revenue?
Yeah, it doesn't make as much money.
Yeah.
The salary cap is Steph Curry's contract. You could pay it twice.
Say that again. You lagged for me.
Oh, Steph Curry's contract. He gets $40 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
NHL salary cap, I think is $81.5 million.
So you can take up half the salary.
You could pay him twice, and that's it. How many?
Ridiculous.
How much does Klay Thompson and how much did Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant make? They probably made more than the NHL salary cap did combined, and it probably wasn't even close.
Probably LeBron's is $37.4 million.
Kevin Durant's
is $37.
In hockey, the teams that have players who take less money are the teams that are successful. You have to take less money. That's why like the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Bruins.
That's what made the Patriots so good for so long is Tom Brady was willing to know that, look, my wife makes way more money than me.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to win games. So I'm going to take the pay cut to make sure that our team can get to the Super Bowl and we can have the players I want to have on the team.
Sidney Crosby had a pretty good quote that I liked a lot. Taking less money doesn't work unless the whole team does it.
Right.
And that's what makes teams like the Patriots, the Bruins, the Penguins so successful, is because you got teams like the Maple Leafs who are paying three guys $30-40 million, all of them forwards. That's not building depth. That's hurting your depth. The Patriots, that's why they're so good. Belichick sees a player, puts a value on him, and once the player's asking price exceeds the value, you're gone. That's why Brady's gone. Brady wanted more money than Belichick thought he was worth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Bill Belichick was going to be one to get all sentimental in this case. And I mean, obviously, it's going to be a lot different seeing Brady in a Buccaneers.
Do you think they offered Brady a contract that obviously wasn't $30 million a year, like what he made at Tampa? So do you think they offered him business as usual contract? Tom, if you want to come, you join. If you don't, see ya. Do you think that was the case, or?
I think they definitely offered him a contract.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think they're that dumb that they would just let him go without even offering him anything. And at least I don't know how if the Buccaneers were talking to him and the Buccaneers gave him $30 million and he took it back to the Patriots and said, "Hey, I'm going to get $30 million from the Buccaneers. Are you going to match it?" And they were just like, "No." I don't know if that's what happened.
I think it came down to he just wanted to leave. He just wanted to be a Buccaneer.
I can't blame him for that. I mean,
their receivers are dirty.
No Patriots fan should be mad at Tom Brady for leaving.
No.
No one.
Not
one.
When it first happened, I tweeted, I was like, if I see any Brady jerseys being burned,
oh, it's so stupid.
I was like, I'm going to be really mad at them.
You can burn a Kyrie Irving jersey for all I care, but don't burn a Brady.
Yeah.
Don't burn a Brady jersey. That's stupid. Yeah. I haven't seen anyone, so I think people are smart enough that.
Because I remember they were saying, "Oh, this could be worse than this could be just as bad as the decision with what LeBron did." I'm like,
nope.
I don't think so.
It was the most low key big free signing I've ever seen. It was like. He posted a thing saying he's not going to be on the Patriots. And then I remember Dale Arnold of WEEI was the first one that I think had it. 3 hours before anyone else did. He just said, "Brady's going to the Buccaneers." And I kept checking, no one else is saying this yet. And then finally, someone on NFL Network or something like that finally broke it. It might have been Rappaport saying Brady signs with the Buccaneers. That's crazy.
It was between the Buccaneers and the Chargers, I think.
Yeah, the Chargers backed out earlier in the day. So we already kind of knew that it was.
Do you think the Chargers are going to try to go after Cam Newton?
don't know, to be honest with you. Like, that organization is like, it's a very like well-run organization, and I'm
Melvin
not
Gordon just left, but they still have
that's what I was about to
Austin
bring up.
Eckler. Yeah,
They lost Melvin Gordon, which I think was a good idea. I think you should move forward with Austin Eckler.
yeah.
Where did Melvin Gordon sign with? Did he go with the Falcons?
Denver.
It was Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley went to the Falcons.
Yeah, Melvin Gordon and Todd Gurley are two of the most overrated running backs in the league. But anyways, I think this quarterback class in the draft is like very deep. Like,
I wouldn't mind for the Patriots going throughout the season with Stidham, or if they want to sign Andy Dalton to like a very minimal contract or something, and if they don't feel confident in Stidham, then maybe they do that. But then you okay with missing the playoffs and doing whatever you can to draft like Trevor Lawrence or someone else in that draft class?
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of Pats fans wanting to get Trevor Lawrence, which I don't think is going to happen.
We'd be set if we did though. We'd be set for the next 20 years.
Oh, absolutely. But Brian Hoyer just got released today by the Colts, so I would not be shocked at all.
Right now,
Brian Hoyer
we have
signed to the Patriots.
Cody Kessler and Stidham. That's it. That's our quarterbacks right now.
Jarrett Stidham is like, it's tough to get a read on him because I remember he was like one of the most highly rated high school quarterbacks. Everyone says he's like the most accurate passer they've ever seen. Like his talent is not the problem. It's like he needs to learn like how to read defenses better. Like, I don't know if you remember, but when he got into the game against the Jets this year, holy
not pretty,
smokes.
right? He looked pretty good in preseason. He had a few moments.
He looked fine in the preseason, but once he played first team defense, it was bad. And that was the Jets, a team that they finished 7-9, but one of the worst 7-9 teams I've ever seen. They beat some pretty bad teams down the stretch.
Yeah.
So I mean, I hope Jarrett Stidham's a QB of the future. That'd be nice, just to have him like drafting is always kind of in the Patriots' strong suit, but like the past few years, it really hasn't been.
No, we've been struggling with drafting.
Like, I can't name Sony Michel. That was a terrible pick. That pick was awful. Like, I think
he had flashes of being really good, and like it just like it never panned out. Especially last season, he was awful.
The problem with Sony Michel is that he was a first-round pick.
Yeah.
If he was a third or fourth-round pick, I wouldn't be as critical of him as I am. But if you're a running back drafted in the first round, I expect you to be like a 1,500-yard rusher, and he's just not. He's not. Belichick doesn't even trust him to run in pass plays.
Well, he fumbles all the time, right?
He can't catch.
Yeah.
And we have James White, who's like the best receiving back in the NFL. So, I mean, I don't think he's going to be back after his rookie deal. So that's another first-round pick wasted. Isaiah Wynn, we'll see if he can stop getting hurt. It sucks, obviously, with the injuries and stuff like that. But, I mean, it's all about how you draft. That's really the key. You draft well, and you're going to be set up for long term.
Trading and free agents should be like icing on the cake, like just that extra mile, basically. But you got to build your team from the bottom up through the draft.
Exactly. Like free agency is such a roll of the dice too, because it's so easy to overpay guys, unless it's like an unproven player. Like,
unless it's the NBA, when one player can change your whole franchise.
Exactly.
But when you only have 5 guys on the court at a time and you pull in one of the best players,
exactly,
it dramatically increases. But when there's 11 guys and everyone's got to be on point,
I think people also
you're not going to trade for 11 all.
So understand that if they take less to go with New England, the next year you're going to get money. You're going to get paid problem.
So many players have done that where they come to they're somewhere else. They come to New England. They have a good season. They sign for so much money somewhere else.
The best part is they never live up to it. Belichick is so good at knowing when players are done. Mm-hmm. Like Dion Lewis. I loved Dion Lewis when he was with the Patriots. He is about to get cut by the Titans.
Yeah.
Because he just doesn't play. Because Derrick Henry is like the greatest running back we've ever seen.
Derrick Henry is unbelievable. Derrick Henry is the reason why Lamar Jackson doesn't have a Super Bowl right now.
Yeah.
Because I think
Or Mike Vrabel. But, I mean, we'll give Derrick Henry credit too.
Yeah. Well, any other running back, I don't know if they could have done it.
No. Derrick Henry, like, he was always a very good running back. Like, I don't think anybody ever questioned
there were always
how good of a player he was.
injury issues, right?
Well, he also played in Tennessee. His quarterback, like, Ryan Tannehill is like, he
needed to get out of Miami.
Average quarterback. And yes, he did need to get out of Miami. But Marcus Mariota is like just a not good quarterback. Like he's just bad. Ryan Tannehill can win you a few games. And if you have a good running back, if you're going to build your offense around the running back, all you need is a quarterback who doesn't turn the ball over.
Right.
Like you need like a Dak Prescott. Like that's what the Cowboys have.
Should Dak Prescott, because this is what we were touching on earlier too, how teams will like release a statement that doesn't always reflect the player well so that they don't lose their fan base. So like I remember before this past season, when Dak Prescott was looking to get a major contract, they were saying, oh, we offered Dak Prescott this enormous contract. And then Dak Prescott's team, another news story would leak a day later, and they'd be like, "Oh no, it was actually this." Blah blah blah.
Didn't they say it was like $40 million or something like that?
Yeah, something like he would have been the highest paid. He would have been like one of the highest paid quarterbacks.
Like Dak, Ezekiel Elliott is one of the few running backs in the league that you should overpay for.
When he wasn't getting his contract, did you hear that, or was that just in my headphones?
I didn't hear anything.
Okay, I just got an alert. I wasn't sure if that was going through.
I didn't hear anything.
So when he was getting when they weren't giving him a contract, I passed on him in my fantasy draft and drafted David Johnson, who did not have a good season. Because
we're gonna talk.
I thought he was going to pull a Le'Veon Bell
and not play.
Yeah, because I drafted Le'Veon Bell the year before because I said, "Oh, he's going to sign before week 1," and he just didn't. So I was like, "I'm not falling
so you already got duped basically."
So I got because I think it wasn't the pick right after me, but it was like the pick after that. They ended up going with Ezekiel Elliott, and
that sucks that you got David Johnson. You could have drafted like another good running back.
I should have just went with a wide receiver or something.
Yeah, like David Johnson.
Because it was like there were like 3 running backs that like everyone knew were like dirty, and then like if Ezekiel Elliott signed, he was in that group too.
Derrick Henry is going to be the number 1 pick in just about every fantasy league next year.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be ridiculous. Tannehill was re-signed there, right? Or he got franchise tag?
He got franchised.
Yeah,
no. Didn't he sign a humongous contract?
I thought he got franchise. Let me look that up.
Yeah, look it up for a second.
I could have sworn he got franchise.
I thought he got a fat payday. I could be mistaking him for someone else, though.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
They overpaid, right?
4 years, $118 million. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How much is that a year? $30 million a year? That's almost $30 million a year for Ryan Tannehill.
That's Tom Brady money right there.
Wow. Wow.
Is Mariota still on their bench, or is he out? They got to let him
probably
go.
A free agent because Winston's a free agent, right?
Yeah.
If Winston and Mariota are in the same draft class. Patriots also already said they're not going to go after Winston. I saw that.
Fine with me.
Yeah, I didn't want him anyway.
I kind of wanted it at first because I was like, oh, he got LASIK surgery. He can see now. He's not going to throw any more picks. But
if you just look at like his yards and touchdowns, you would think, oh, he's a pretty good quarterback.
And then you look at interceptions.
And you look at how many interceptions he threw. And
how many losses they had by less than 7 points.
Oh, my God.
He had 30 interceptions, I think.
My favorite part is that the pick 6 in overtime at the end of the season to clinch it. That was the all-timer. I was so happy. When I saw that in NFL Red Zone, the guy was like, Jameis Winston, 1 interception short of 30 in overtime. And he threw a pick 6. I was dying laughing. That was so funny to me. But back to David Johnson. What are the Texans doing?
I don't know.
That is.
Did you hear the story that was it Bill O'Brien, who's their head coach?
Yeah.
He compared him to Aaron Hernandez right to his face. He said, because I guess Hopkins has some children with more than one woman. And he goes,
Okay.
last time I had to have a conversation, sit down like this, it was with a man named Aaron Hernandez. And he's basically saying like, oh, like, I don't know what he was going to critique him for, honestly. The dude's a filthy wide receiver.
One of the best receivers in the game.
So DeAndre Hopkins was basically like, did you just compare me to Aaron Hernandez? Like, so he was like, I'm out of here.
Like, that story didn't leak until after the trade, though.
Yeah.
Did Bill O'Brien really think that David Johnson in a second-round pick was good value for DeAndre Hopkins, even if he thinks he's Aaron Hernandez? Like, dude, you could have fleeced the Cardinals. You could. I mean, I don't know if they could have gotten Kenyon Drake because he just got signed. So I don't think they would trade a guy they just signed. But like, you couldn't get a first and a second, or like.
I almost said Chandler Jones, but I don't know if they would have gotten rid of Chandler Jones.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't. I mean, actually, I don't know. I mean, maybe 1-for-1. Like, Chandler Jones is a great player.
Do you remember the Chandler
Hopkins
Jones incident?
Is one of the best players in the league.
Do you remember the Chandler Jones Patriots incident? They like cut him like as soon as he.
That was weird.
That was bizarre.
Like, it was before a playoff game, right? He like got arrested.
He like was found with like weed or something, or he like
something like that.
Yeah,
and then
they just
played,
like cut him.
And then,
but then like Patrick Chung has a similar incident, and they just keep him on.
Well, I also think Chandler Jones wanted a lot of money, and Belichick was like, "No."
Yeah.
No. We're not gonna
actually wasn't Patrick Chung like not really involved in his case? I think I remember that. I
haven't heard anything about that since the story was released
in the preseason.
So I think that was just a bunch of crap.
Yeah, I think I remember the story being that like someone threw a party in his house while he was away.
Yeah,
and like because it was on his property, like his name was tied to it, and like that was it.
Well, people just want to bring down the Patriots any way they can, so that doesn't really shock me.
One of the segments I've been seeing online is like Patriots fans, welcome to the club of just being you're now a part of the other 31 franchises or 30 that have been have all hope stripped from them because of Tom Brady.
I was watching the Pat McAfee show, and he said, I would not be surprised if the Patriots won 16-0 this year.
I wouldn't. With Jarrett Stidham.
How funny would that be if they went 16-0? That would be hilarious. With Jarrett Stidham. Oh, my God.
I'm in a group
chat. If they go 16-0 this year.
I'm in a group chat, and someone was saying the Patriots sticking with Stidham and then just, like, continuing to win or, like, just signing, like, these no-name players and still being in the playoffs would be the most Patriot thing of all time.
If they make the playoffs this year and they go to the AFC Championship game again, it's Bill Belichick's greatest masterpiece. It is his Mona Lisa. There's nobody I'd want leading a rebuild more than Bill Belichick.
Oh, I would. We've never seen it.
There's nobody I'd rather have lead a rebuild than Bill Belichick. Like, we are so far ahead of the Browns.
They said that Tampa Bay is about to have, if Brady brings a lot of the Patriot values with him, they're about to have a total like change in their identity as a team.
Who's Tampa's coach? Is it Dirk Cutter still?
No, it's the quarterback guru. What's his name?
It's not. I thought it was Dirk Cutter.
I'm blanking on his name.
Well, Matt Nagy.
It's Bruce Arians.
Oh, you're right. That's right. He retired.
Last year
was retired for like 2 years, and then he's like, I'm back.
Last year was his first year with them, and it was with Jameis Winston, and they were like, Jameis Winston just kind of got like.
They lost so many close games.
Yeah, they were like, he just kind of got like the short end of the stick. He kind of just like didn't really luck out because he got one of the best quarterback coaches, but only got to play with them for 1 year and just didn't have that good of a year. So like,
I hope Jameis Winston gets another shot somewhere, and I think he will.
I think I heard that something that the Steelers are looking to maybe sign him as a backup, so he can be Big Ben's replacement.
Did you see Big Ben's beard?
No.
Oh my God! He posted a video on either Instagram or Twitter, just like an update, like telling people about like staying safe, washing hands in the quarantine. He looks like he hasn't looked in a mirror in 6 months.
Does he have a
like?
Jeez.
Oh my God! Are you looking at it right now?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Oh my! It's ridiculous.
He looks
I'm,
like he
he
looks
looks
like he
like
drives a truck for a living or something. He does not
I
look like a
thought Andrew
quarterback.
Luck had a long beard. That's nothing compared to what Big Ben's got.
Damn.
He looks like Joe Thornton of the Sharks. Most people probably don't know who that is. Look him up. Got a big beard.
Looks like Duck Dynasty.
That's a good one. Yes. Duck Dynasty. Is that show still like on?
I have no idea.
I used to like that show when I was like in middle school, but I don't even know if it's.
What do they do? They just sell like duck noisemakers?
They just kind of like do like redneck stuff.
Yeah.
Because they're just living in like the South.
Yeah.
And that's all you can really do down there.
What a life.
I could think of a better life than that. But hey, those Taylor Swift fans thinking you're in Alabama.
Hey.
Marrying your cousin and stuff like that.
My parents that are golden retrievers that are related.
Golden retriever parents. That
probably happens for golden retrievers, honestly.
I'd be flattered if I had a golden retriever as a parent. But that also means you'd outlive a golden retriever because you're 18.
I am 18. I don't think any golden retriever has reached the age of 18.
Did you see, like, speaking of old dogs, did you see, like, the thing on the news? It was, like, the first dog diagnosed with coronavirus dies.
Oh, yeah, and it was an 18-year-old dog.
It was 17.
It's 17.
Still, though. 17 years old. Like, and it's the best part is that the cause of death is unknown. I'm like, I think I know why he died. Because he was 17 years old.
I don't think that dog died of corona.
No. It's dogs have already, it's like they can't, like, I don't think they can.
I don't think they show symptoms even if they can get it.
They cough or sneeze.
Yeah.
So like you won't even notice, and they can't transmit it to humans, which is like the really good part. Well, actually, the really good part is that they're not dying. It's like the second really good part.
I was walking my dogs today. It was a pretty nice day out, nice and sunny, a little chilly, so I put on a jacket. Mm-hmm. But I was walking my dogs today, and right next to my street is a much longer street that has a lot of wood. It's all wooded area around it.
Yeah, you live near the forest, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so on the street, it was the most crowded I've ever seen the street. So many people walking.
Oh, yeah.
Walking their dogs. This quarantine is like just making everyone like
it's a blessing in disguise.
They could do. Yeah,
it really is a blessing in disguise. Like we actually,
I mean, unless you get coronavirus.
Yeah,
but it's like a break. It's like one of those like how everyone says like I need a mental health day. This is like
this is big of a mental health day you're going to get.
This is a mental health like month.
If you can't get your stuff together now, I hate to break it to you. Like,
that's why I started this because I have so much free time now. All my school's online. I'm not working anymore. I have all this stuff to do. I don't have any more of this stuff.
You're not working now because of the coronavirus, of course.
Wink. So I was like, I always wanted to like join YouTube, and I made a vlog one time, like last month. I made it in February.
I think I remember that.
I made it, and it was pretty cool, but I realized it. I did that because I was watching some David Dobrik vlogs, and he's like one of the biggest vloggers. So I was like, oh, he just makes 4-minute videos. Because I was like, oh, I want to be a YouTuber. Like, what should I post? And I was like, I started watching his videos, and they were like just like highlights. It wasn't like I remember I first started watching Casey Neistat a few years ago, and every day
some long videos.
They would be like 10 to 12 to 15 minutes sometimes, and it was every day he did that.
That sometimes.
Yeah. Hey guys, I just woke up. Like just like I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. But then David Dobrik, he just films like clips almost because he came from Vine, so he just does like short clips of like his week and just puts the funniest moments together. So it's almost like you're watching a highlight reel of what's going on.
Mr. Beast posts like 30-minute videos, but it's not like daily vlogs. It's
no. And
competition.
Mr. Beast is actually. I love that channel because it's like he goes to like the extreme of everything. Like I think the last one I watched was he ate a $70,000 pizza. It was like it had like edible gold in it and stuff, and like the caviar was in it. It was like insane. But he goes the extra mile for every video.
My favorite one was the one where he was tipping people. Like,
oh yeah,
he just went to a restaurant, ordered a water, and then left like $20,000.
He must have like really good brand deal connections.
He has crazy sponsors.
Yeah.
Like I can only imagine you pitching that to like your sponsor, like, hey, I
All right,
just need
give me
like
$20,000, but I'm giving it to a waitress.
I
So
need
like,
$50,000 to give. I think that's why he actually gets the money, because he's giving it to people.
so they feel better about it. They know that it looks
Yeah.
good for their brands. If like,
And
oh,
also in one of his videos, it was like, anything you put in this circle, I'll pay for.
oh yeah, I've
It
seen
was
those.
like, he was like, there was like two people who was working for like a soup kitchen, and
Hmm.
he like was like, he made this giant circle, and he was like, yeah, anything you want, we'll go to the soup kitchen. So I think that like, it makes it a little bit less guilty for the sponsors to give them money,
Right.
because it's not like, oh, I'm just paying you $50,000 to just have money, I guess.
Yeah.
Like that makes any sense.
It's good. It's a good PR move for those businesses to do that too. So
Yeah, I'm
I
sure.
see it.
I forget who his sponsors are. I don't really. I
David
usually
Dobrik's is always SeatGeek. Thanks to SeatGeek, I could give my friend this car. It's like
Oh, a
always
lot
stuff
of
like
people
that.
have SeatGeek.
Yeah.
A lot of people
I
have
think they're
SeatGeek.
one of
I've
the
never
most
never used it.
YouTube friendly brands.
Yeah, I've never used it. I've used Ticketmaster.
I feel
Never
like,
used SeatGeek.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't buy enough tickets for things, but I think I've used SeatGeek one time for a concert.
Mm-hmm. I would. I mean, obviously, SeatGeek's probably taking a pretty big hit right now
Yeah.
because there's no concerts. There's nothing going on.
My mom actually for my birthday bought me tickets to Billie Eilish because my mom likes Billie Eilish. So I would always play Billie Eilish in the car with her. And I like some of the songs, but I was like, because I can't play all the songs I want to play like with my mom in the car
No,
and
yeah,
stuff.
I never do. I always play like comedy shows, like John Mulaney, Bill Burr, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. So my mom loves Billie Eilish. I almost like so she got me 2 tickets, and I was like, I kind of made a joke about it at first. It made me seem kind of like not that grateful. I felt bad after. I apologized, but I was like, oh, it's gonna be me and a bunch of 12-year-old girls at this concert. But it was supposed to be like just
Not
this
wrong.
past Thursday, and it got canceled. So
Yeah.
I ended up not being able to
Did you
go.
get a refund at least? Or?
Apparently it's gonna be rescheduled, but like no dates yet.
I want to sell those. I wonder who like whoever has the first concert after the coronavirus like outbreak is like contained. Like whenever they're like,
And
all
then
right,
someone gets it, and it's a huge news
whoever
story.
is gonna have that first concert is gonna be packed. Like if I'm a performer, I'm like, get me that concert like 3 or 4 months from now.
Yeah.
And you take the risk of it getting canceled, because if you hit the spot, you're gonna make a ridiculous amount of money. It's gonna be crazy how much money you're making. It's been kind of weird though, just like going like this long without sports though.
Oh, on ESPN they're just playing like today. My brothers had it on. It was like the LeBron James McDonald's high school All-Star game from 2003.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just showing reruns.
And I mean, there's not much else they can do.
Yeah.
Like they've been showing a lot of 30 for 30s and
I mean,
like
you can only watch
Stephen
A and Max for so long before you have to go to something else.
Is First Take still going on?
Yeah, but I think it's like remotely. It's like they're in like separate studios or like separate rooms or something. They just like
all
doing
they
a chat
have
like
to talk
this.
about is NFL free agency. Like
NFL,
that's
yeah.
it. If it's a slow day for NFL free agency, it's a slow day for First Take. Like not that they really talk.
You can
about
only because
anything.
the coronavirus like everything being canceled, so you can only talk about that for like a few days.
I would kill for First Take to have to talk about hockey for 2 hours.
They never would.
I don't think hockey's ever once been brought up on that show.
The only time I see hockey on ESPN is when it's top 10 plays and it's like some like behind the back, backhand, whatever. And like that's it. That's just, like they'll just show highlights.
I would kill to watch Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith struggle to talk about hockey for 2 hours, and Molly's constantly being the worst because she stinks.
That's Jalen Rose's wife, right?
Oh, I know.
Remember the LeVar Ball comment?
Oh,
she goes, all right, we're gonna switch gears for a second. They had LeVar Ball on the show, and he goes, he goes, oh, we can switch gears anytime. And like, I don't think he meant it sexually, honestly. I think it was just like,
I think that's just
something he would say.
Jokes.
Yeah, and then she kind of was like not I don't
She
think
took it as the worst case scenario.
she did, or she was like thinking, oh, maybe he meant it like this, because she kind of played it off too. She was kind of like,
She didn't really
okay,
say anything. She was like, okay.
yeah,
Like she didn't really like say anything about it, but
yeah.
she looked uncomfortable.
There
It's
was
like, and
more
I
of an
guess
outrage about it than what he probably meant. Like,
luckily though, there's no Molly Kern stands, so you don't have to. No one likes her. I mean, it's like her and the girl in Ridiculousness are the two like least liked
oh,
females
the
on
girl in
TV.
Ridiculousness. I remember seeing a clip about her like saying, I'm scrolling through Instagram and I like all your pics, but how come when I post a selfie, I have all these followers and I'm not getting as many likes as I should be getting compared to the amount of followers I have?
Is
Like
she
all this
doing the
stuff. Like
math?
she was like had some weird like psychology of like or like mindset of like
Entitlement.
I should have a certain amount of likes considering my amount of followers. And like, you guys, why do I even have to be calling you guys out? It's like, I don't know. It was so weird. It's just
I've
like,
recently unfollowed a lot of people on Instagram and Twitter.
yeah.
So
I've been thinking about doing that too.
I'm just like, I have
close-knit
never
people.
said a word to you in real life.
I was thinking the other day, when is the line where the people that I just knew from high school but didn't really like know them? When's the line where it's been so long that I haven't even seen them in real life where I can just unfollow them on Instagram?
To be honest, like I won't notice. Like if you don't post anything, I will always follow you because I won't notice and I won't. Really
No, and then it's when they start posting more, you're like,
it's just when I see a lot of posts from a person I never talked to, I'm like, oh, I don't really know you. This is kind of weird. I'm looking at pictures of you all day. I've never said a word to you. This is strange. Unfollow. But like, if you don't post, I will not notice.
Right.
So
unless you come across a random account
trying to get followed by me. So
sometimes I'll scroll through who I'm following just to like do a little cleanse, and it'll be like, this person hasn't posted since 2014, and it's like some old account or something. I'm like, I'm unfollowing this one.
Oh, I unfollow a lot of like I unfollowed a lot of like sports accounts that used to post like sports news or like sports videos, and the last like post was like LeBron James like is going back to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Like maybe I should unfollow you. It's probably time. You very clearly aren't the most active person in the world anymore. So
didn't you have like some Instagram difficulties where your account was taken down a couple times or something like that?
Oh yeah. So I made my first Instagram account in 5th grade, had it. And then freshman year, I'm not making this number up. I counted my emails to get this number right. From maybe not the beginning of freshman year. From like the start of like the second quarter of freshman year to the start of the fourth quarter, my account was hacked 22 times.
How's that even happen?
I don't know. Instagram security wasn't very good back then. So what they would do is they would change my username to like a bunch of like random letters and numbers, and they would post like pictures of like naked woman and like stuff like that. Like, did you ever see them?
I don't know, but I have seen the type of accounts. Do you ever get those random DMs from people that are like,
yeah, click this link to check my pictures.
Click this link, and then it's like a kiss emoji or something weird, and it's just like the profile picture is just like some girl with like,
anyone who's stupid enough to click on that link shouldn't have an Instagram account.
Just delete.
But anyways, like I thought like maybe that's like why my account was getting hacked so much, but I'm like I never clicked on those links before. Like even freshman year me wasn't dumb enough to click.
I've never. Yeah, but they just still find people. It's always like a group DM or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Weird. Yeah.
So I would be getting like texts from people like, "Yo, are you okay? Like, why are you posting these pictures?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I would check my Instagram, and I'd be like, "Oh." So it kept happening. In the middle of it, like I don't know what number it was at this point. Maybe it was like 14 or something like that. You know, I was changing my password. I didn't know what my Instagram password was anymore because you can't change it to something that it already was.
Right.
So I didn't know what my password was anymore. So basically, it got hacked one time. and they changed the email to get my account back. So I couldn't get into that account. I'm like, well, it looks like I'm done with this account. And then like 2 weeks later, my email was just randomly put back on the account.
It's so weird.
Reasons I don't
so weird
get.
that someone was actively trying to get your account.
I don't know. And then keep getting hacked. And then one day I literally remember the last time I get hacked, because you know what two-factor verification is? Do you know what that is?
Oh, so you have to have two different forms of like.
Mm-hmm. Like I send you a text or whatever.
Yeah.
So I have that for my Twitter.
They send you a text and an email or something like that. Yeah.
So I have that for my Twitter account. And Instagram didn't have that. And that's all I needed to get rid of like the hackers, because then they couldn't log in.
Right.
Like, all right, like if I just get this, I'm good. But Instagram didn't have it at the time. So after I got hacked one more time, they eventually, after the 22nd time, they finally put in two-factor verification. So I'm like, thank God, I'm never going to get hacked again. This is great. So I put it in. 10 minutes later, my account gets disabled. 10 minutes later, my account gets disabled after finally like getting rid of the hackers.
I wonder how that happened. Maybe they just kept trying, and it was like, we're just going to disable it.
I was just like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, this is ridiculous.
You were just like off Instagram for a while.
Yeah, I didn't have Instagram for like a year. So I would like look on their like Instagram's website, and there was nothing. It was just like how do I get my disabled account back? And it was just like, put your email in here and it'll help you. And the instructions were just not helpful. Like nothing worked. So I'm like, all right, that account's gone. So I made a new one after a while of not having one.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I think it was last month, I was sitting.
Hold on a second.
Oh, all right. Sorry. Nice belly button.
I was sweating.
So I was sitting in class one day, and I come across my old account. And I literally tapped on it, and I'm like, I had forgotten about this account at this point, to be honest with you. Like, I had already given up hope that
It had been, what, like 2 years?
Back. It had been 3 years.
Okay.
3 years since I have ever logged on to this account.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the account back. I log back on. Someone had DM'd me like 2 days before asking for homework. And I DM'd them back. I'm like, dude, don't follow this account. Follow the other one. And then the fun part was actually going through who I was following, because the people that I was following, I think I was following 400. I think I'm following 400 people. I know about 150 of them.
It's just like
these
random 13-year-old
people that I was following that like live in like towns around here, like Billerica or like Drake-it or Chelmsford or Tewksbury. People I just never met before, but I for some reason followed them.
Right. That's so funny.
I don't know. So yeah, that was and I looked through all my old posts, which was pretty funny. The quality on all them looks like it was taken with like an iPod 4, basically. But yeah, I just kind of changed the account to like let people know that this is not my account. Like I put my actual account in the bio. Another important part about getting that account back, though, was I could finally remove the underscore from my current Instagram account.
That's good.
So my old Instagram account didn't have any underscores in it, and but since the account was disabled and not deleted, it was still in the system. So I couldn't change my name without the underscore. And then I finally got it back, and so now I could finally change it back, which was – you just feel so much more important when you don't have an underscore dot in your name. It's really
my Instagram for a long time was Tucker Deschanel, my first name and my last name. Mm-hmm. But then I was like, no one knows how to spell that. So I'm just going to do Tucker Desch.
I think I could spell it with no problem. But
go ahead, try.
DESCH, that's the easy part. ENEAUX.
Yeah. A lot of people forget the extra E.
I just realized I could have cheated. Your name is right there. I didn't cheat. I swear. I just now realized your name was right there, and I could have used that and acted like I knew how to spell it. Yeah, I got it right. We're good.
Yeah, good guess.
I know how to spell Tucker's name. No big deal.
No big deal. My name, which is 2 last names.
Desh Anoaks. My first name's 2 names, so a bit easier to spell.
Yeah. Did you want to talk about anything?
I think we've gotten a good amount in. How long have we been talking for? Like we've been on for over an hour.
Yeah, we've probably been over an hour. My last one was, since it was my first one, it was 40 minutes, but it felt like 2 hours because I was like so stressed. But now, even just the second time around, I feel so much better.
I wasn't really nervous about the time with this one because, like, since we know each other really well, we know like what we can talk about and like how to like build off of stuff.
So my last guest, Anthony, I've met him in person one time, and but we've been texting and stuff.
You told me about him,
yeah. And what actually happened was we kind of like talked about what we wanted to talk about before it started. So when we were trying to have the conversations, it was stuff that we were kind of like bringing up again. So I feel like it wasn't as natural.
Yeah.
We were like, all right. So I was like, all right. So what do you think we should talk about? Like, and we're trying to work it out. He's like, well, I could say this, and then like you could say this, and so it seemed like kind of scripted when we were going through. So I was more nervous about it.
You're reading lines or something like that.
Yeah, like I was trying to remember like things that we had planned on saying, but I think from now on I'm just gonna wing it like this because it seems so much more natural.
It's easier to do. It takes the stress out.
Yeah,
that's why
it definitely does.
Like I have like a lot of respect for like what Joe Rogan does because he talks with everybody. Like so many different people with so many different interests, and he knows how to talk to them for like 2 hours.
I think it's sick when he has like he'll have like a scientist that like studies like mushrooms for a living, and like they'll just talk about it for like 5 hours. I'm like, how does that happen?
He can go off on DMT for like 3 hours.
Hey, have you ever tried DMT?
Man loves talking about DMT.
DMT, elk meat. This movie, Ex Machina, he brings it up all the time.
He loves talking about monkeys, like...
Monkeys, yeah.
Experiments with monkeys. Loves talking about them. I can't believe he hasn't gotten Kanye yet.
It was supposed to happen at one point, and then I think it was like during the peak of like Kanye's TMZ moments that was going on and like all this stuff, and I think Kanye's team was probably like, that's not a good idea right now.
Yeah, that would be the dream, to get Joe Rogan having Kanye West talk for like 6 hours.
There was there was a couple episodes where Rogan was like, oh, like, because Kanye tweeted, I want to have a long form conversation or something like that, and Rogan was like, I'll have you on anytime. And then he tweeted like, let's make it happen. And then apparently they talked on the phone about it, and Rogan was like, oh, he's like one of the sweetest people I've ever spoken to. Like, he seems nothing like what people think he would be like in private. Like, he was like super down to earth and like really like interested in doing it. It just seems like it's just not going to happen because of some different things going on. So I mean, maybe down the road, something like that. But I would have loved to see that happen.
I miss Kanye West on Twitter.
Oh, when he comes on Twitter, he just proves he's the king of Twitter.
I miss Kanye on Twitter. He used to tweet a lot more. He never, like,
and
he
they were
barely
hilarious.
Ever tweets now. He barely ever tweets now, and it's so sad.
Yeah,
like, he was one of the first people that I ever followed on Twitter. Like, he was like
he was the person to follow on Twitter.
You were required to follow Kanye West on Twitter, basically.
He'll like reactivate his account, and all of a sudden you have like when he comes back, it's like he just proves to everyone that like he's the number one account.
I think it was like New Year's Day, like 2 years ago. He tweeted like 50 different things. Probably more.
I think it said that he had like 100 and something, like 147 tweets or something in one day.
Way off.
It was like ridiculous, and all the people were like trying to get retweeted because he was retweeting fan stuff. He followed so many like fans, and before he had only followed just him. That was his only.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And people were like, oh, this is so cool. Like, we're going to have Kanye following us and maybe he'll be interacting with us. And then he just like,
those are the glory days.
He just deleted it off his account after that day.
Those were just the glory days when Kanye was big on Twitter.
Oh, like especially his old Twitter where it was like
actually tweeted stuff.
Like he would just be like, Wiz Khalifa, I invented your career. Like back when he was like just like the most like outrageous and like um the most like confident and cocky person of all time.
Yeah,
That was like peak Kanye. Like when he would just hop on anyone's song and like just like murder every single feature.
I think if he came on now, it would be a lot of religious stuff.
Yeah.
Like a lot of stuff like Bible quotes or like stuff like that.
I think he tweeted on like Christmas. He was like, "Merry Christmas from the West family," and it was just like, "Here's a picture from the ranch," and it's just like him in Wyoming.
Oh yeah.
It was like his goat or something.
Have you seen like their bathroom of their house?
Oh, the sink that
the sink. Yes, that sink is ridiculous.
It's just like a straight table, right?
Yeah, it's like
it's slow enough incline where like it still drains.
It makes no sense why that's the sink you pick.
Imagine brushing your teeth in it and you're just like spitting on the table.
Like, why just get a normal sink? Like, that's such a flex just to get like the most outrageous sink you could pot. That's the most Kanye West move. Like, let's get the most outrageous
Let's get a sink. Let's get the sink that just looks like a table.
I think it was the Kim Kardashian was given the tour and she was like explaining how it works.
Oh, whenever she does a house tour, I watch because it's like the most least expected thing that you think they would have, they have.
Oh yeah,
they have like one of those walk-in kitchen fridges.
I don't get how you know that stuff even exists.
So
that's a whole new level of rich people.
From working in a restaurant, they do have stuff like that where it's like a room that's like the whole room is like a refrigerator. Uh-huh. They have that in their house.
Like the sink, like how do you find out that sink exists? Who discovered this? Like you have to do some research on like, is there like a list? Like is Watch Mojo doing like a top 10 sinks?
And he's just like, I gotta get to number 1. Not even like top 10. It's just like top 10 like most random sinks.
Top 10 kitchen or not like house appliances you need to have. You won't believe number 8.
Have you ever seen the pictures of their house? And it's just like the whole thing is just like it's the most least decorated, all like white walls. Like it's just like the most bland house of all time. But it's still
they're probably never there. They're probably there.
Traveling hotels. I think they've been spending the whole quarantine in Wyoming or something. So I've been seeing pictures of them there.
That wouldn't surprise me. Honestly, that's where I'd be if I was a celebrity. I'd be in like Montana or like
something random.
Like Maine, like the top of Maine, like somewhere where just no one's gonna find you out here.
I think I don't know if I would do Maine though because of snow. I hate snow. Maybe now because it's not. It's not bad. But like, if I had the choice, I would live in a place. I mean, obviously, I will have the choice eventually. But like,
I don't. Where you live.
Yeah, but I don't think I could do snow. I hate snow so much.
I think where I would live if like without snow.
I think I would just miss my family too much to just leave and friends. Like I want to like getting whole new group of friends.
There's Skype. There's FaceTime.
Yeah.
There's ways around it. But like honestly, like is there any like I feel like especially like now in like the age of technology, like can you really ever really get away if you're a celebrity? Is that even
probably not possible? I mean because of social media too.
Like we know they're in Wyoming.
Yeah.
Like we know they're in Wyoming. Like if we wanted to, we could.
Like there could be paparazzi that's just like waiting for them to come out of their house in Wyoming just to go see them.
If you really, really tried, you could find where they live. There's not that many people living in Wyoming.
Yeah.
You could find where they live. Not like I'm not encouraging that.
I think most celebrity houses, you could just go like Google like their address and like someone's leaked it at one point.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I know this is what I was thinking of. Is Tom Brady going to build a new house in Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay is about to become a really exciting city because the Rays are going to be good. The Bucks are going to be good.
If the Rays stay.
If they have a season.
Yeah, but also if their team is still in Tampa
yeah, because they're playing half the games in Montreal at some point.
Yeah, they even when they're good, their
They
attendance
have
is
no one
terrible.
that no one goes. I think when I went to Florida, I've been to Florida twice for Disney, and both times like we've just driven to Tampa to go see a Rays game. You can buy tickets the same day and still get pretty good tickets. Like you can walk up and they just let you in after the fourth inning or something like that too. Like
ridiculous.
Like if it's after the fourth inning, they're like, oh, you want to go in? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they need people in there,
and they just let you park right up front too. Like if the VIP section parking doesn't, if the VIP section parking like doesn't fill up, and it usually doesn't, they just like start giving it away to people that come late. They're like, oh yeah, you can park right here.
Yeah, I have an aunt who lives on like the west coast of Florida, and like everyone says the west coast of Florida is like you don't want to live there, and I've always wondered why.
Is that where Tampa is?
Yeah, it's Tampa, no, it's on the west. It's like the peninsula. It's like it's border. I think it's actually on the Gulf of Mexico. Now that I think about it, it might actually be on the water. I went to Tampa before. I mean, we went to Busch Gardens. I was like 9.
Yeah,
I was younger than 9. I was 7 or something like that. Don't remember it very well. But yeah, I went to Miami. I could never live in Miami.
One time when I was like 10 years old, my whole family we went to Baltimore for like 2 days or 3 days, 2 nights or something like that. And then on the way home, we went to 2 Baltimore Orioles games. And Camden Yards
stadium
is an awesome stadium. That stadium's awesome. I love that place. I want to go back sometime.
I've heard that's one of the best. It's not even like a new stadium.
No.
It's just one of the best stadiums you could go to. It's like built so perfectly.
Despite being so historic, Fenway Park is like one of the worst stadiums for a spectator.
Sucks.
It's probably fun to play there, but
yeah, like I mean, you should go watch a game there. But unless
definitely do it. But I would hate like maybe. I mean, I'm a Red Sox fan, obviously, so I'd be biased. Yeah. But if I wasn't really a Red Sox fan and I wanted to buy season tickets for some team, it would not be. I would not want to sit in Fenway Park every night.
So unless you're sitting on the Monster.
Because that's new.
Yeah. Like that, it's not good. The seats are like, you're basically cramming yourself into this.
Your knees are like, destroyed. It feels like you're on a small bike trying to watch this game.
But I went to Wrigley this past summer.
Oh, wow. How was that?
It literally.
That's an old ballpark.
It's Fenway with Cubs logos. That's how I describe it. Like the concourse and everything
and a leafy
exactly
fence.
The same. And yeah, no Monster with leaves on the fence. It's the atmosphere though is awesome. Like there's like people watching like outside the stadium, and like the crowd's like into it too. Like I mean, it's either them or the White Sox.
Yeah, I think the south side of Chicago are White Sox fans, and the north side are Cubs fans.
Yeah, basically, and it was a nice ballpark. But I am so happy that the Red Sox are in the American League and don't have the pitchers hit.
Oh, I don't know why that's still a rule.
People say it's like, oh, it's like it shows like good strategy or whatever. Like, or
it's an automatic out.
It's awful.
Pretty much.
It's not fun to watch. It's
not fun.
It's like, but it shows like how good is your manager at like managing like pitching and pinch hitting. I'm like, dude,
honestly, baseball's dying right now in popularity. Baseball, like especially among like youth, like they have like these weird rules where the NBA is the most like fan friendly and player friendly of all the leagues, and then the MLB is like they're too corporate. They don't allow you to post their highlights.
Yeah, that's
on social media.
Stupid.
So weird.
That's why they don't change.
They don't change.
Leagues
change. The sport is so stubborn. The MLB is so stubborn because baseball's actually. It can be so exciting, but it's just like I think the pacing is also a big difference.
Oh, it's so slow.
Football does a good job because when you watch a football game live, like I went to a Patriots game for the first time like a year ago or 2, and it was
you got one in before Brady left.
Yeah,
that's lucky.
It was against LA Rams, and it was when the Rams were not as good.
Oh, was that Brady's 200th win? Like was that the game?
I think it might have been.
Was that the game when Brady set the wins record? Because my parents were at that game.
Maybe I honestly, it might have been that game.
I think was that Jared Goff? That might have been Jared Goff's rookie year.
I think it was his rookie year.
Yeah, my parents
we
were at
might have
that
been
game.
at the same game.
Yeah, I think they were.
My parents were at the Red Sox game in 2013 playoffs where David Ortiz hit the home run and the cop had his arms up like this and the player was trying to rob it and his feet were up. They were at that game. That was such a sick game.
I was at the game 4 games later when Victorino hit. That was at the clinching game of that series when Shane Victorino hit the grand slam, and I think the 7th or 8th inning.
That 2013 Red Sox season was so much fun.
That was the most fun sports season ever.
Yeah, that was such a good time. That was such a fun
team.
Started
off with
the whole beards thing. I had a T-shirt that had all the players with the beards on it. Like that was.
Oh, if you went to a game, they gave you like a beard to wear. Like that was so cool.
That's how you make baseball fun.
That exactly.
That was a fun time.
Baseball fun.
You gotta yeah.
Now it's just like it's an old man's game.
Yeah.
Like, the people who like baseball are people like 50 and older.
The point I was going to make about about football is like when I was watching the Patriots game, there's a lot of standing around that you don't see when you watch it on TV.
Oh, it's so different.
Like TV timeouts, regular timeouts, in between like possessions. There's a lot of standing around. The team's like running back to the bench or huddling up or just getting water. And it's like, what's going on right now? Why they just stop? And it's like, oh, there's a commercial break. Like, it's so weird. And then like when you're watching it on TV, they keep you in it. They show you highlights. They have like stats coming up on the screen. It's like they know how to keep you entertained.
But I mean, also, if you went to a Patriots game, you weren't sitting down.
No.
Unless it was halftime. Like that, I went to the game against Chiefs. They lost to the Chiefs this year. I was at that game. And I sat down at halftime and that was it.
Yeah.
My legs were so tired after that game. But, like, that's, like, the way you want it almost.
Yeah.
Like, baseball, you stand up when someone scores. And that's it. But, like, even in hockey – well, actually, you stand up a lot more in hockey just because there's, like, hitting and, like, saves and everything like that. Like, there's a lot more reasons to get excited in hockey. Like, in baseball, when someone gets, like, a single or a double, you just kind of sit there and clap.
Yeah.
Like, good job.
Imagine golf. Watching golf.
Oh, God.
Out there. How does that even work? Because the course is so big. You just kind of have to, like, pick a hole to watch, I guess.
I can't watch golf. I can't do it. I get why people like to play golf. I can't watch.
I get why people like to play it, too.
Mm-hmm.
Watching it live must be super boring because, one, you can't even see the whole thing. Watching on TV, I think I did watch it on TV, but only if Tiger Woods is golfing.
I hear my dad yelling whenever I'm watching it on TV. I just hear him screaming at professional golfers to play better because
golf is so weird. It's like the only sport where they're like, shh, guys, it's like they don't want you to be too loud.
Yeah, it's the anti every other sport. They want to keep it quiet.
It's like the total opposite. If I was a golfer, honestly, like if
I'd be getting the crowd fired up.
Maybe it's because like you're so like those players are so used to it. But I feel like Happy Gilmore, that movie where like he was just new to the sport, like he would just be like, "Why is everyone so quiet? Everyone get loud!"
He's hitting it like
he just hits it as hard as he can. Like that's kind of how I would like the sport. Maybe that's how they get more people into it. They're just like, we need to make this as fun as possible.
I completely understand why golf is popular.
Well, it's also a sport that you can play your entire lifetime.
Exactly. It literally takes like, obviously like your back is probably not going to like you very much.
I bet most people that golf played some other sport before they golfed. And then they're like, well, now I want to be competitive. I'm a competitive person. I still kind of have some athleticism. I'm just going to golf. And you could do that.
It's a very relaxing sport.
It's like running and golf, even though they're totally different. They're both like activities and sports you can do like your whole life pretty much. Like until you like can't run anymore.
Exactly. Like especially when you're not competing.
Yeah.
Like running competitively is a completely different story.
Yeah. But like
that is terrible for you.
Yeah, you'll kill your body over time.
But I mean it's good for you, but it's also not good for you.
Like people that run competitively or like just tag on miles and miles and miles, they're eventually their knees or back or something ends up really bothering them.
I mean, I guess now it's not as bad with like how much like stretching and like recovery, like how much better
there's
it's all
definitely
getting.
a way to prolong your career.
You can also take steroids. That's an option. Alberto Salazar.
All right, I think we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, we've had a pretty long conversation.
That was a fun time.
And that was very organic. Like honestly, like I came into it like I had a few things like written on my phone just in case, and I didn't even look at them once. I think we honestly hit everything that like I even had on my phone.
That we could have touched on. And we hit on stuff I didn't even expect, so that was fun too.
Yeah, we had a good flow of conversation. All
right, everyone. I don't have a guest planned for next. I shouted you out in the last one. I said, I got my good friend Pat coming on in the next one. I don't know who I'm going to have next, so we'll see. I've been trying to get in touch with a few people, trying to plan something, but nothing's official yet. So I don't know who's going to be next, but hopefully I have one. If not tomorrow, sometime in this upcoming week, I can get a few episodes out. So I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm having fun. And hopefully if you know these people I have on, I'm sure Pat will tell people that he was on it. And I'm definitely going to keep promoting it. Or whatever. So we'll see you. I'll see you guys next time. This is Pat. He'll probably see you sometime soon on here again.
I will probably end up being back on here.
Yep. I'd love to have some repeat people. So, all right. I'll see you, Pat.
See you later, Tucker.
Look at my diamonds, look at my drip, yeah. Ooh, I'm getting blessed, I feel like it's a dream, yeah. Ooh, yeah, I'm the man, yeah.